All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, May 16th. We got 6 MLB games to jump into in today's video like we always do. We're going to go through each and every one of these games. I'm going to give you my lean on the side. I'll give you my lean on the total. We'll talk about any other plays like player props that we like within the game as well. But as always, all of my final plays, so I'm actually rolling with myself. If you do want to fade me, all of those plays are going to be in the pinned comment. Yesterday, a 3-0, much needed sweep. Money gun, baby. Let's go. We needed that sweep badly. If you've been watching for the last couple days, can't really brag about those, but you know what? We go 3-0. We get back on track here, and we love to see it. So a nice little bounce back 3-0 night yesterday. Orioles money line cashes, cha-ching. Royals and Mariners first 5 under cashes, and then the Phillies first 5. It took the bottom of the ninth for them, but you know what? It cashes. 3-0 last night. And the good news does not stop there, as our ride of the day also comes through from Collecting Pack. We had a first timer. He said, my first ever ride of the day submission, Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 bases. Shohei gets 2 hits yesterday. We're just abusing the soundboard in today's video, but the vibes are high in for this video here. I said to you guys yesterday, comment good vibes on the video, and guess what? Look what happens here. We go 3-0 in our picks. The ride of the day cashes, and I saw a bunch of other people cashing in the comments yesterday. So you know what? Let's carry those good vibes into today. Short 6-game slate, like we said, but let's jump right into it, guys. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well. Let's get rocking and rolling here. Started off with a pretty good one. Minnesota taking on the Yankees. On the bump for Minnesota is going to be Joe Ryan, who's a 3.21 ERA on the season, 0.99 whip, 2.99 FIP, 2.95 expected FIP, which is all pretty damn good. Going up against Clark Schmidt, who the ERA has an ERA of 2.95, which is good. His whip, 1.27, not bad at all, but not great. His FIP at 3.8 and expected FIP at 3.6. So maybe due for a little regression here, not necessarily sure. Both these bats should be good. The Yankees have won both games, 5-1 and then 4-0 yesterday. I think that I lean towards Minnesota in this spot. I could see them getting one, especially the last game of the series. And in terms of a total here, I'm still going to trust what's been happening in low-ish scoring games. So I think that this one's going to be similar to game 1, where we see like a, maybe a 4-3 type, or a 5-2 game, I would say, and still stay under the number, trusting both the pitchers here. But I do think I side with Joe Ryan as the better pitcher. So I'm going to lean towards Minnesota, but I also don't think it's going to be an absolute barn burner, even though the bats for both these teams should be pretty damn good. Both top 10 in some cases, mostly the Yankees here, top 5 for all offensive categories last 30 days against righties, both these pitchers being righties. But nonetheless, long-winded way of saying I like Minnesota today because I think that they take one in this spot, as well as taking a peek at a potential under. I don't like it at 8. If we can get an 8.5 somewhere, which I'm pretty sure is out there, that's probably what I would look at, because this could be a 5-3 game, a decently high-scoring game, and push there. But if we have 8.5, obviously that would cash the under. All right, do we even need to look at these games? I feel like you guys already know what I'm going to roll with when we see the Phillies as of right now. I still like them first 5 here. I'm going to have to pull the trigger probably on first 5, I believe, run line to get decent odds. Let's see what that is right now. I think it might be plus money on most books. So first 5 run line, meaning they have to win by 1. Yeah, plus 105 over on ESPN Bet. I like that spot. But you do have Taijuan Walker on the mound, who I don't necessarily love altogether. So this could be a spot in which we try to play with it a little bit, where we look at maybe Philadelphia, over 2.5 or over 1.5 first 5 runs in the first 5. First 5 runs in the first 5, no duh. Over 2.5 right now is plus 110, and that's kind of like backing them to win the first 5 without having to worry about their pitching or defense, right? So maybe you might see that split in the pin comment, because I do like both of those, and again, they're plus money plays, which is something that I love about baseball, being able to roll with that. So yes, the bats should still be good against lefties for Philadelphia, but the Mets against righties, they're not terrible. 8th in average, 12th in WRC+, 9th in K percentage. You take a peek at the dashboard here. This is what I'm concerned about. Obviously, we're targeting Quintana here, right? But Walker, 4.82 ERA, 1.34 whip, FIP of 5.28. Like, that is nothing that, I want to write home about or brag about. He only has, I believe, 3 starts on the season. So I'm not trying to say that, it's a finished product. But overall, like, he's gotten better and better and better, but I just don't know if I can fully trust him. Like, his last game, it looks good, right? 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. It was against Miami. So not really trying to sit here and boost him up. So give me Philly minus the half on the first 5, but we may split like a half unit, so a quarter unit on each potentially on the over 2.5 for Philly's first 5 runs. Both of those being plus money, I like the chances. One of those hits, and it covers the other if the other loses. Say they win like 1-0 in the first 5, right? Or say they lose 4-3 in the first 5, they still hit the over 2.5, right? In terms of a total, I guess we have to look at both of these offenses, and again, back into the dashboard. New York against righty on the road, looking good. Philly against lefties at home, looking good. Pitching looking pretty bad. The one thing I'd be concerned with is the Mets bullpen. That's why we're rolling with Philly's first 5, but I'll still lean towards the over here. I don't necessarily want to sit here and act like it's, being afraid of New York's bullpen. They should be rested. I understand that, but their bullpen's been pretty damn active as of late. Not yesterday, but as of late. So I'll lean towards the over in this spot as well, hoping that bullpen doesn't screw us. And by the way, guys, the dashboard that we flashed on the screen, that is a Ballers exclusive. Ballers are the channel members here, the ones that choose to support with a $2.99 price tag every single month. Like, I cannot thank you, Ballers, enough. If you're interested in becoming a baller and getting access to this model every single day, dashboard, I should say, not necessarily total model, every single day, there is a link to become a baller. It should also be a button right next to the subscribe button, but a link in the description to become a baller. Again, it's $2.99 per month. I don't even know what that comes out to daily, but a lot of work went into this dashboard and everything like that. I guarantee you it's worth it. I know how valuable this information is, and it's kind of like a one-stop shop for it. So consider signing up today. We post a link every single day, and it's updated for you guys. So yeah, consider that, and appreciate all the ballers that have chose to support us so far. Next up, we have Boston taking on Tampa Bay. I do think I lean towards Boston in this one due to the fact that, well, first off, this is a good series so far. Tampa Bay wins and Boston wins. Tampa Bay wins again. I wouldn't be surprised if Boston bounces back and wins this one. Cooper Criswell on the mound. The team is 5-0 in his last 5 starts, going up against Zach Littell, who is also pitching well. The team's not necessarily winning when he does play, but the reason that I lean towards Boston here is both pitchers should be able to do well, okay? I think Littell has some success, and I think Cooper Criswell also has some success. The differentiating factor, listen to me talk like that, all of a sudden I'm a scientist out here, is the fact that the bullpen, Tampa Bay's bullpen already isn't that great, and they're super taxed. A bunch of those guys went yesterday. You had Fairbanks pitching, Kelly, Maton, Armstrong, all these guys pitched yesterday, right? Whereas Boston's bullpen should be fairly rested. It's already a better bullpen, 5th best ERA, 6th best whip. So if this game gets down to the later innings, I think Boston's going to have more success than Tampa Bay. But in terms of a total, I think that I'm also going to consider taking a peek at the under, just overall, because I do think that this is a spot in which these two pitchers can have decent outings early, and maybe we're heading into the 6th inning or beyond with like a 3-2 type of a game, and the Red Sox can maybe get 2 in those latter innings, and we're still sitting around 7 runs ish. So I like the under here, but I do think that I might pull trigger on Red Sox money line just due to the fact that I think that they can get to this Tampa Bay bullpen late, and nothing's safe. No lead is safe with the way that bullpen is taxed and is just pitching on the season. And guys, no real player props that I'm liking so far on the slate. We might have a couple as we go through the rest of these games, but with a short slate like this, you don't necessarily need to force anything. But speaking of player props, one spot in which we can find just absolute value here is taking a peek at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. I've talked about it in videos before. If you have not tried this out yet, you need to get over there and do it. You can use the link in the pinned comment. You get 25% off. In fact, we can go to this use to make it a little bit better. What this does, actually, you got to use the code GUYBOSTON. So you use the link in the pinned comment, it'll take you there. But to get that deal, you need to use code GUYBOSTON, GUYBOSTON, okay? What this does is it takes a peek at Prize Picks, Underdog, Sleeper, all those apps that we know and love, right? The player prop apps. And it goes through and gives you a percent odds to hit chance here due to the sports books odds. We have FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, Caesars, Pinnacle, all the sports books that really matter baked in here. And you can see what they're offering for odds. Obviously, you want the more juiced plays in Prize Picks entries because Prize Picks does not care about the odds. 2 for 2 equals 3 times, 3 for 3, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't you throw a -140 play in Prize Picks? Sportsbooks are already telling you that this is more likely to hit than not because they're applying the odds, right, and the juice. So why would you throw in a plus money play on Prize Picks? Why would you take an underdog play if it's going to count just the same? You pick it up what I'm putting down here. So go check out Daily Grind Fantasy, guys. Again, that link in the pinned comment. If you want to use this, you get 25% off with the code GUYBOSS, and that is a great deal. This thing has helped me cash on Prize Picks and withdrawn on Prize Picks so many times. Seriously, I back this tool 100%. Go check it out, guys. That link is in the pinned comment. Promo code GUYBOSTON. Go check it out. Do not, if you're on Prize Picks or any of those apps, don't waste another second. Apply this and you'll start cashing. All right, next up, we have the Cubs taking on Pittsburgh. They did play earlier this year, and both these pitchers, Jared Jones for Pittsburgh and Justin Steele for the Cubs, did go. And when I say earlier this year, I actually want to say it was like, it was literally like a week ago. So earlier this year is correct, but it was like a week ago. And by the way, guys, if you can hear my voice, like the allergies are just getting me. So I don't know if I sound scratchy or anything like that, but we keep having to pause and cut the recording because I'm like, and you guys don't want to see that. But if we fade out our voice cracks, that's why. But anyways, Jared Jones on the mound against Justin Steele. Jared Jones, I do think, is turning into what I would consider a really good young pitcher here. I know I said that in the last time he pitched, and you guys were kind of saying I was, what do the kids call it nowadays? Glazing in the comments. But Justin Steele looked good for 2 starts, and then his start against Pittsburgh. So he started 3 times this year, had, looked really good, actually. 1 earned run through 2 starts prior to, and then he went up against this Pittsburgh team, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 home runs, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, only 3 strikeouts. So I sit there and I'm like, is he going to have demons against this Pittsburgh team, or is he going to want to bounce back? The thing that I would say that makes me want to lean towards Pittsburgh in this spot is Jared Jones. So though I do think that this could be, you can make an argument either side. Like I can see Justin Steele bouncing back. It's his only bad start of the year, so on and so forth, right? I kind of like the idea of backing Jared Jones and kind of just hoping in a spot here that we see Justin Steele slack again, because you can make the same argument about last game, right? That he had some demons, because in his game prior to, which was last year against Pittsburgh, 3 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 8 hits here, 6 strikeouts, no walks, but was throwing nearly 30 pitches an inning. 3 innings pitched, right? So he might just have some sort of a tough spot here against Pittsburgh. So I don't mind this spot for him to kind of have a rough outing, I should say, and Jared Jones to be able to do what he's been doing. In terms of how he's pitched against this Pittsburgh team, this Chicago team, 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. He did let up a home run, though, so definitely a lot better than Steele. So give me Pittsburgh in this spot. That's a plus money play, guys. I feel like we're tossing out a bunch of plus monies in today's video. If you made it to this point in the video and you heard me say that, comment plus money in the comments. Get us some good plus money vibes here. In terms of the total, it's going to be rainy, but I still like the over. Like, in terms of the weather here, we have a 54% chance of rain, but the wind's blowing directly out, and I like that spot. I think it's going to be really humid too, which should be good, or the humidity factor, I guess we could say, according to Ballpark Pal, should be, enhancing chance of home runs and whatnot. So, yeah. Give me the over in this spot as well. I think that rain is pushing this line down, and we might want to capitalize there. So, Pittsburgh and the over. All right, Houston taking on Oakland. I don't have too much interest in this one overall, just given the fact that Houston is -205 here. They've been, I want to say they've been crushing Oakland, but not necessarily. They win 2-1 2 games ago, and then last game they win 3-0. On the mound today, we do have Christian Javier, who hasn't been as good as Oakland's pitcher Joey Estes, who only has 1 start this year, but he did go, it was against Seattle, so I mean, take it or leave it. Seattle has good days and bad days. 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 5 Ks, no walks, and that 1 earned run was a solo home run, so it was 1 bad pitch, right? So you could make an argument that they have a pitching advantage here. I don't necessarily see it that way. Christian Javier, his numbers against Oakland, or I should say the batters in this Oakland lineup, 38 plate appearances, so small-ish sample size, actually small sample size, but a 103 batting average against, an expected batting average today of 131, an expected slugging of 250, and an expected WOBA of 290. So this dude has dealt against any of the guys that he's seen in this lineup before. I think it's fair to put them at -205. I'm thinking maybe we could roll with like a Houston and Dodgers money line parlay. That would get you, and obviously that's kind of tipping my hand, that would get you -101 over on DraftKings, -103 over on MGM, -102 on FanDuel, so not the worst odds. The problem is if you're parlaying anything, usually I do like some plus money. In terms of a total here, I'll get the under because we've seen 2 straight games of low-scoring baseball. Game number 1 almost seems like it was the outlier in this series, right? Houston dropped 9 runs. Oakland looks like they're going to give you a consistent 0 to 2 runs. So, yeah, I don't think Houston's going to go off for 8 runs themselves. You know what I mean? All right, so I already said that I like the Dodgers in some sort of a money line parlay. I don't like them straight up. Last time these two teams played, Cincinnati won 9-0. That was last year, though. But this Dodgers team coming off of a loss yesterday against San Francisco. Last time they came off a loss, they scored 6 runs. Time before that, they scored 5. Like, this is a team that obviously is built really, really well. We do want to make sure that everyone's batting for this. I think that they are, but we also don't know, we don't have confirmed lineups. I also don't know who exactly is pitching on the mound for Cincinnati. Nick Martinez is a name that we've seen thrown around, but yeah, we want to make sure of that. But either way, I guess it doesn't really matter who pitches for Cincinnati. Tyler Glasnow is on the mound for the Dodgers, and obviously we can kind of put a lot of trust in him. I don't mind his strikeouts either. Right now it's sitting at, 7.5? 8.5, so it's a little bit higher than I thought, but for plus money, I don't necessarily mind it. This is a Cincinnati team that strikes out a ton against right-handed pitchers, so I really don't mind that at all. So Dodgers money line in that parlay with Houston if we were to roll with it. Tyler Glasnow's over in strikeouts for plus 108 odds. In terms of the total, the Cincinnati team, like, I'll give them credit. They were playing pretty good baseball offensively. They're not getting the wins. They've lost 8 of their last 10 games, but their offense was getting there until yesterday. They scored 1 run against Arizona. It's a little weird. So I guess all in all, I would still say that I lean towards the over because I feel like we know we're going to get a decent outing out of the Dodgers here offensively. They scored 1 run yesterday. Like, you can't imagine they have, that few runs again, right? So I'll take the over in this spot as well. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to wrap for today's show. I know it's a quick one, but sometimes the quick ones are the best ones, right, fellas? But nonetheless, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Make sure you're liking and subscribe, right? Peace out.